Hi there guys, in this video we're going to have a look at the ship Orca. I felt it needed another look at since 2.2 is coming out and we have the kind of passenger missions for it now. The video I did a while back was very old, and I think I put some voiceover on it and it still wasn't particularly that good. So hopefully I can address that in this video and do a proper video for the ship now that it's going to be a bit more on focus or so, because the Orca was not really used very often. Anyway, so the first thing to do is go and have a look at it in the shipyard. Which seems to be taking a while to load up. Anyway, so let's go and find it. Like I said, bear in mind these prices are beta, so these are 10th with a 10% discount. So the ship has a top speed of 303 with a boost speed of 384. It has 1.2 maneuverability. It has a jump range of just under about 17, making it okay. So the best thing now, let's go and actually have a look at the ship's cockpit. Like I said, this ship was kind of not used by a lot of people because they didn't see much point to it. However, with the 2.2 update, more people may be looking at this ship now. So we've got basically a restriction bit at the bottom, which is not too bad, and on our left we seem to have a bar that sort of goes up. Other than that, it doesn't seem too bad. On the left here it's just pretty open, there's nothing really much down there. And on our right we've actually got a second seat, so potentially somebody else could sit in there. That seems to be a bit more open on that side. Again, we get this kind of imperial feel with this ship. Anyway, so let's have a look in the outfitting section. So the next thing to look at is the hardpoints. On this ship we only have 3. One of those is large and the other 2 are medium. So let's put something in the medium, in the large hardpoint. So I'm putting this stuff in now so I can show you where it is later, but I think these are going to be a bit more obvious. So that's the large hardpoint, which is on the underside, and these 2 are also on the underside. So then we have 4 utility mounts for kill, warrant, scanner, shield, boosters, etc. Next is the internals. So like every other ship, we have our bulkheads. We have a lightweight by default, and we may have reactive, which adds extra 87 tons. We have our mirrored again, which adds 87 tons. Military grade, which is another 87, and then our reinforced adds 21 tons. Next is our reactor, which is a class 5. We have a class 6 thruster. For now I'm going to upgrade that so I can show you how fast it turns. We have a class 5 frameshift drive, which in below you can see it's getting just under about 15. Life support, we have a class 6. For the power distributor we only have a class 5, which given only 3 weapons should probably be fine. Next we have a class 4 sensor and a class 4 fuel tank. However, I think they're going to actually increase that to a class 5 if I remember, because at the moment they're saying that the ships could be a bit better for long range. Anyway, so next look at the internal optionals. For this we have a class 6. This can be swapped for a cargo rack. By default it's going to be a passenger cabin. Then we have 3 class 5s, a class 4, a class 3 and 2 class 2, making this ship store up to about 192 tons I think, which is not bad, but it's not going to be that great for trading. I'm just going to set some fire groups on them weapons. So the next thing to do is to show you the external of the ship. Which just looked like I got a bit of issue with power actually. So before I do it I better go and sort the power out. I don't think I upgraded it, so let's go and upgrade the power plant and stick a 5A in. That should sort the problem out. So yeah, have we sorted that? Yeah, sorted it out. Okay, so let's show you the external list now. Like I said, this ship is kind of based on an Imperial design, a bit like the newer Beluga ship. Both of them are passenger cabin ships as such, but like I said, other ships can do the role. So let's have a look at the front of the ship. Again, much like the other ship, we have these big white and black areas. Like I said, I guess for a lot of people wasn't really looking at this ship for a long time because it didn't actually offer much in any particular category, but hopefully now with the introduction of passenger missions it should make this ship a bit more useful. As you can see, it's a very rounded ship. They've gone for a very kind of neutral, non-aggressive look. A lot of the other ships are very pointy and narrow, and to give that sort of feeling of more combat orientated, but this ship is quite smooth and rounded. On the side we again get the kind of white and black theme still running down the side of the ship. We do have a couple of wings sticking out, but they are not too intrusive. On the kind of rear of the ship, we have a sort of, I guess that's a solar panel or something. I'm not too sure what that is. It's on a grid thing. And then on the back of the ship, which I'll just show you. So on the rear of the ship, we have our engines. These are integrated into the design and don't protrude out like some of the other engines do. This potentially could make them a little bit more protected. Overall, I do like the design of the ship. I do like its colour scheme and the kind of roundedness of the ship. It's just a shame for a long time there wasn't any sort of point to this ship, and it kind of got dismissed a lot. But like I said, hopefully now with 2.2 this ship might be a bit more looked at. This ship I don't think can hold a fighter though, unlike the Beluga ship which can. Like I said, this ship is kind of a bit more of a lower budget version. So the next thing to do is to show you how this ship flies in space. Let's see. So if we just get clear, we have roughly, let's get some more pips to the engine soon. So we have a speed of just under 340 with a boost of 415-ish. So all in all, that is a pretty fast ship. That should mean that you can get away from danger fairly quickly. So the next thing I need to look at is the maneuverability, or how quickly the ship turns. For this I'm going to get away from the station this time, just purely so I can check the weapons afterwards. So again, I'm going to do the best case scenario for this. I'm going to put 4 pips to the engine and get it to the blue section. Like I said, this is basically best case scenario. I did upgrade the thruster to the top. So if we get the engine up and get to the middle point. Like I said, you could go into detail and check all the different turn speeds, but for this I'm just going to go for best case scenario, which is, like I said, 4 pips and the thing in the middle. So let's, I think the speed's gone up a little bit. Let's get it back into the middle pit. Okay, let's see how quickly it turns then. So that puts it around about 13 seconds, which is not bad for this type of ship. However, in combat that's not going to be ideal obviously, but yes, that should be okay. I was kind of expecting a bit worse for that. Anyway, so let's have a look at the weapons. Obviously we only have 3 hardpoints on this ship, those being a large and 2 mediums. Now all 3 of them are on the underside, if you can see in the little picture. I think I've set this up a little bit differently. So we have our large hardpoint in the middle here. As you can see, it's far and away. And then we have our two mediums on the outside. Overall, it's not bad. So let's actually show you where they are physically. So this is the underside of the ship. You could probably see at the front there is the large hardpoint, and then just a little bit more behind that, where there's two lines sort of going across in the middle of the ship, you'll see the other two medium hardpoints. Overall, these are not bad placements for hardpoints, but I guess the maneuverability will affect it somewhat for combat. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend this ship necessarily for combat. Although the ship should be capable of defending itself, I wouldn't recommend actively engaging in combat with this ship. So overall, this ship is not bad. I mean, it was seriously overlooked in other versions because there wasn't anything unique about this ship. Hopefully the passenger missions will make a few people look at it. If we look at it at the 3 points that I normally do, for trading I would not recommend it. It's got an okay cargo space, I think it's 168, but that is not that great put in comparison of the price of the ship. For exploration, I think this ship is very lacking. The jump range specifically is going to limit its range. I don't know if they will change that in the futures. I do think though they will be changing the fuel tank, which will be a welcome addition. However, it's still going to be a bit limited in that respect. And then for combat, well, this ship is not really suited for that. It has a better weapon placement than I was expecting, but generally you won't be able to fight much with this. To regards with passenger missions, well, you can take passengers on other ships as well. I don't know how much of an impact that will have against this ship. Obviously this ship is supposed to be more featured for passengers. I'm not too sure if you can install some extra big, maybe luxury passenger cabins on this, which you can't normally install on other ships. However, it depends, like I said, how much you actually going to use passenger missions and whether you're going to specifically look at this ship again. Obviously you have got the Beluga ship, which is the bigger version of it, and it also will carry a fighter. It's a shame really this ship didn't support a fighter, because I think it kind of needed it. It's kind of a ship that you would think would need that defense. Anyway guys, that's a look at the Orca ship. Like I said, hopefully this video is a lot better than my previous one, which was just basically recorded a long time ago and a voiceover added. This time I've actually gone at this ship and looked at it in a lot more detail. If you've liked the video, please like the video, that always helps me a lot. Another thing it does is if you subscribe. Thanks guys for watching, take care and have fun out there.